Hello students, let me introduce you to Python. Have you ever tried making pasta on your own? Figure shows a recipe to make tomato pasta. It solves the problem of how to make tomato pasta. The recipe is a set of instructions on what to do, how to do, and when to do it. The set of instructions uses ingredients, inputs to make tomato pasta, output. Adding all the required ingredients to the recipe is input. Simmering the ingredients is processing, and the product that you get after processing is output, which in our case is pasta. Likewise, a computer also works in 3 stages. To get the work done on a computer, you enter the raw data, that is input. A computer operates on this data, that is processing, and the desired result is obtained, which is output. To get the desired output from the computer, we key in instructions to the computer using different programming languages. There are some specific computer languages which are used to write programs. Some of the popular examples of programming languages are Python, C, C++, Lisp, Pascal, Java, PHP, etc. Modern computers can follow the generalized set of operations called programs. In simple words, a program is a sequence of instructions that specifies how to perform a computation. These programs help a computer to perform a wide range of tasks. In this chapter, we will learn the basics of Python programming language, which is one of the most powerful, high-level programming languages. It was mainly developed to emphasize the code readability, for which it uses the English keywords very frequently. Python is considered to be the most appropriate language for beginners due to its simple and clearly defined syntax. In this chapter, we will learn about the basics of Python language. First, let me introduce you to Python. Python is a simple programming language used to write codes for the computer programs. Python was created by Guido van Rossum when he was working at CWI, Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica, which is a national research institute for mathematics and computer science in Netherlands. The language was released in 1991. Python is a high-level programming language. Some of the features which make Python so popular are as follows. It is an easy-to-learn general-purpose programming language. It is a platform-independent programming language, which means it can be used on any machine and in any operating system. It has a simple syntax. Python is a case-sensitive language. It is an interpreted language. It is free to use and even free for commercial products. Students, let's know more. Syntax refers to the grammatical rules to be followed while writing a program in any language. Applications or uses of Python programming. Python is a popular, easy-to-learn language. It can be used to build a website, develop games, perform scientific computations, develop artificial intelligence applications, program robots. Students, let's recall. A high-level language is a computer language that uses alphabets, numbers, and special symbols for coding. It is a user-friendly and interactive type of language. For example, C++, Python, Java, etc. Students, now let us know how to install Python. Python can be easily installed on your computer by following the given steps. Number 1. Obtain a Python distribution. You can download Python distributes from www.python.org/download. For this chapter, we have used Python 3.7.0. Number 2. Python installation process. After downloading the Python distribution, all you need to do is to execute it. Double-click the download installer software. Click on Run in the dialog box, and the installation process starts. Keep following the instructions and keep clicking on the next button until you see the highlighted Finish button. After you have installed Python, the idle screen looks like this. On Windows machines, the Python installation is usually placed in C:/Python 3.7.0 folder, though you can change this when you are running the installer. Students, let's know more. Python 3.5 or advanced version cannot be used on Windows XP or earlier versions of Windows. Okay, students, let us talk about components of Python window. Just like any other application window, Python window has the following components. Title bar. This is the area that displays the name of the application and the document. It also contains command buttons like minimize, maximize, restore and close. Menu bar. The menu bar consists of various menus with different options. The common menus you will be working with in this chapter are File, Edit, Shell, Debug, Options, Window, and Help. Working with File menu. This menu is used to work with the options related to the currently used file. It includes sub-options like opening a new file, opening an existing file, viewing recently used files, saving the files, closing the files, and exiting the application. Working with Edit menu. This menu is generally used to edit the file in use. You can cut, copy, or paste the selected text. You can also search for a particular text or phrase and even replace it with some other text. Working with Help menu. To get help related to any topic of Python, press F1 key or click on the Help menu. Script area. This is the area where you type your code. Status bar. The status bar tells you the current status of your control or cursor on the window. After installing Python, you are ready to work on it. You can work in Python in two ways: in interactive mode, in script mode. Python programming in interactive mode. In the interactive mode of Python, the instructions are executed line by line, giving the output. In this mode, the commands are typed next to the Python command prompt. For example, if you type 3 plus 6 next to the Python prompt, it will give you the result as 9. To work with the interactive mode, follow the process given below. Click on the Start button, then go to All Programs, then go to Python 3.7, then go to Idle, Python 3.7. It will open the Python shell window where you will see the Python prompt. Type the following commands next to Python prompt and Python will immediately give the output as shown in figure. Students note that interactive mode is beneficial for testing code where you type the commands one at a time and get the result or error immediately. Use of interpreter. As discussed in the above section, the commands are executed line by line in the interactive mode of Python. When you type a command next to the Python prompt and press the Enter key, the interpreter converts the command into machine language. After processing, the interpreter again converts the machine code into a human-readable form, output. Students, let's know more. PySoy is a 3D game engine that supports Python-based games. Using print main function. The print main function is used to display the output of any command on the screen. It can also be used to print the specified messages. For example, Python prompt print hello world will display hello world. Python is a case-sensitive programming language. It means that Python differentiates between capital and small letters. For example, print P capital and print P small are two different things for Python, where print is a valid command in Python, while print is just a word and not a command. We can also pass more than one argument to the print main function. In such a case, the arguments are separated by commas as shown in figure, using idle as a calculator. To evaluate an arithmetic expression, it is not necessary to use the print main function. If we type an arithmetic expression at the Python prompt and press the Enter key, the interpreter automatically evaluates it and shows the result. In this case, the interpreter acts as a simple calculator. The expressions are evaluated using operators like plus, minus, asterisk, division, etc. The basic BODMAS rules are followed for performing calculations. For example, let me share a tip with you. In idle, you can press Alt plus P to repeat the previous command. Students, let's know more. The Python idle, integrated development and learning environment, executes instructions one line at a time. Variables in Python. If you need to store some food for future use, what will you require? Well, you will need a container to store the food. Similarly, when you are working with the values in Python, you require some storage to hold values for later use. Such storage locations are known as variables. A variable can store only one data value at a time. When a new value is stored in a variable, its previous value gets overwritten. Students, let's know more. A variable is a named memory location that stores the data and whose value may change during program execution. The assignment operator, equal to. Values are assigned to variables using assignment operator, equal to. For example, the statement x equals to 25 assigns the value 25 to the variable x. Observe the following codes to understand the use of assignment operators. A equals to 10. Hash value 10 is assigned to the variable A. B equals to 20. Hash value 20 is assigned to the variable B. C equals to A plus B. Hash, the numbers are added and the value is assigned to the variable C. That is, 30 is assigned to the variable C. A equals to C minus 10. Hash, value 20. 30 minus 10 is assigned to the variable A. So, now the value of the variable A is 20 and not 10. Rules to write the variable names. There are certain rules in Python which have to be followed to form valid variable names. The rules for valid identifier variable name are: a variable name must start with an alphabet, capital or small, or an underscore. A variable name can consist of alphabets, digits, and underscore. No other character is allowed. A Python keyword cannot be used as a variable name. Students, let's know more. A keyword is a word that conveys a special meaning to the compiler. Students, note that a variable name can be of any length. Variable names are case sensitive. Example, age and age are different variable names. Examples of some valid variable names are class, employee underscore code, total salary, mini value, balance fee, age 1980, A45R. Following are examples of some invalid variable names. Variable name, reason, employee code. Space is not allowed in a variable name. 10 code. Variable name cannot start with a digit. ABC Limited. Dot is not allowed in a variable name. ABC at Limited. Special characters are not allowed in a variable name. Else. Else is a keyword in Python, so it cannot be used as a variable name. Students, if a variable is being used without assigning a value, that is, if the variable is not defined, it gives an error. The above code gives an error because the variable x is used in the print main function without being defined. Students, let's know more. A compiler is a language processor that converts a program written in high-level language into machine language and vice versa, just like an interpreter, but in one single step. Students, let us find out how to work in script mode. Interactive mode is preferred for small programs where only a few commands are to be executed. This is because the output in interactive mode is compressed between the statements and may create confusion while writing long programs. For writing lengthy programs in Python, script mode is used. Using this mode, we can create and edit Python programs. In this mode, we can save our file so that it can be used later. The complete script is written in an editor, such as a notepad in Windows. Students, you can press F1 key to use Python help. Number 1. Create module or script or program file. 1. Open idle Python. Number 2. Click on the file, then go to New File in idle Python shell, as shown in figure. Number 3. In the new window that opens, type the commands you want to save as a program as shown in figure. Number 4. Click on the file, then go to Save, and save the file with the name program1.py, where .py is the extension for Python files. Number 2. Run module, script, program file. After the Python program file is created, you can run the program by following the given steps. Open idle Python shell. Click on the file, then go to Open. If the file is already opened, you can directly follow the next step. Click on the Run, then Run module or press F5 key. It will execute all the commands you have stored in a separate Python shell window. Students, observe the difference between the script mode and the interactive mode as shown in figure. Students, let's know more. A script is a program that you type in Python. Okay, let us talk about data types. Suppose you have planned a holiday trip using vacations and you have to book tickets for your family members. The first action that you need to take is to fill a form to get the reservation done, where you need to give your required details like train number, date of journey, name, age, etc. Here, every piece of data that you enter is of a specific type. As your name is a string type, age is a numeric type, and date of journey is of date type. Similarly, in Python, one must specify in a program what kind of values will be stored in a specific variable. Students, now let us talk about basic data types in Python. In Python, a data type represents the type of data stored in a variable. The data stored in memory can be of many types. Python has various standard data types based on the type of value. For example, a student's marks are stored as a numeric value, whereas his or her address is stored as alphanumeric characters. The basic data types used in Python are mentioned here. Int, integer, represent integral numbers, numbers without any fractional part. There are three types of integers in Python. Integer type, description. Integer int stores value in the range of -214-748-3648 to 214-748-3647. Long integers, long int, support the values that lie beyond the range of integers. Boolean, bool. It represents logical values in the form of true and false. In Boolean, 0 represents false and 1 represents true. Float represents floating point values, numbers with fractional part. The fractional part of a floating point number may be 0 as well. Examples of floating point numbers are 3.14, minus 48.8, 18.0, etc. STR, string. A string data type represents strings of characters enclosed within quotation marks. Examples of strings are hello, my name, 218, peace, etc. Some examples of data types in Python are value 15, data type integer, value 7.9, data type float, value computer application, data type str, value 7 greater than 3, data type bool.
Students, let us talk about input main function. Input main function is used to accept the value for a variable from the user. To input integer and float values, we can use integer main or float main along with input. In Python, input main function takes one string argument. This means that whatever value is being entered by the user, it will be taken as a string argument. Observe in the above program, when you add the two numbers, you do not get the sum. Rather, the numbers are joined together and are printed as a string. Here in this program, when you try to multiply these two values, you get an error in the program. This is because the string's values cannot be multiplied together. To work with the values provided by the user, Python provides a method as discussed in the given example. Observe when you use integer function. The values are converted to integers and are added. Features of print main function. The print main function in Python is used to print a message or value on the output device. It converts the message or an object into a string before writing it on the screen. It can have multiple parameters. It supports multiple escape sequences to format the output. Example, /m, new line, /t, tab space, and /r, carriage return, using separators with print function. Using comma operator. When you use comma operator as the separator among the values are displayed with a space between them. Using /t tab space. When you use /t escape sequence as the separator among the values are displayed with a tab space between them. Using /n new line character. A new line character in Python is used to end a line and start a new line. In Python, the new line character can be used with the input function and with the print function. /n is a new line character used in Python. Students, let us consider another example. Suppose you want to make a program to accept the name, age and marks of a student. For this, add the following code in the Python script file. Now in the Python script file, add /n with the input and print function. In the above output window, in order to give a better understanding, the text and the values are placed one after another. Okay students, let us take a recap of this lesson. Python was created by Guido van Rossum when he was working at CWI, Centrum Visconde and Informatica. Python is a high-level language used to write codes for the computer programs. Interactive mode is beneficial for testing code where you type the commands one at a time and get the result or error immediately. Script mode is used for writing lengthy programs in Python. The print main function is used to display the output of any command on the screen. Python has various standard data types based on the types of values stored in variables. Input main function is used to accept the value for a variable from the user.